Every year there is an indie title that really hits home for me. And these days, indie games often scratch that particular itch you had for a long time. They deliver on every level and some more. And every year, there is an indie game that just hits the right notes. Owlboy, Night in the Woods. But this year's contender was the one true thing. A 2D platformer that does everything right. It pays homage to the original and improves upon it. Worthy to be called a successor to the classic, the original Ninja Gaiden games. A Ninja Gaiden game for a new generation. A game where you can ride a dragon and fight the baby Skeletor. Ninja Gaiden 4, but in 2D. But before we talk about all the improvements, the amazing and fun gameplay, the well-told story, the humor, grab yourself some pizza and a coffee, kick back and make yourself comfortable, and let's talk about The Messenger. "30 years ago, still no announcement, Team Ninja. The first Ninja Gaiden game was released in the arcades, a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up that changed the gaming landscape forever. It introduced the world to Ryu Hayabusa and paved the way for his many adventures. After being a smash hit in the arcades, Ninja Gaiden was ported to the Nintendo Entertainment System. Since I was a small kid back then, I connect only painful memories with the classic Ninja Gaiden games. Because these games were hard, really hard. But thanks to Ninja Gaiden Black, I got a second chance. They were added as a secret unlockable in Ninja Gaiden Black, and in order to unlock them, you were sent on a journey to collect 50 scarabs to access the original Ninja Gaiden trilogy. And let me tell you one thing, these games were still hard as nails. Well worthy the title of Quarter Muncher. But after the Ninja Gaiden franchise made the step into the 3D world, the 2D series was left in the dark. Until this year, when The Messenger, a 2D 8-bit and 16-bit, more on that later, side-scrolling action masterpiece released with critical and commercial success to both PC and the Nintendo Switch. Even the creators of the original Ninja Gaiden games admitted that this is how a true 2D Ninja Gaiden game has to look like, and it was praised as the spiritual follow-up for the original Ninja Gaiden games. So my Ninja Gaiden fanboy honor demanded and left me no other choice than to jump into the crazy world of The Messenger. Starting off in a small village as one of the last survivors on Earth, demons have taken over the world, and the only hope is an old prophecy foretelling the arrival of a great hero that will save humanity. And after barely fighting off the Demon King, it is revealed that, surprise surprise, we are the chosen one. The Messenger, set on a journey to deliver an ancient scroll to the top of a mountain. Starting off like your by the numbers video game story, it goes off in a completely unexpected direction with tons of twists and turns. But enough said about the story, because it is one of the strongest points of The Messenger that you should experience yourself. The world building and character interaction is great and has this light-hearted tone that helps lighten the mood for the hard as nails sections of this game. Because true to its predecessor Ninja Gaiden, this game is hard. So it's always a great relief to have a good laugh after defeating a boss. Right from the get-go, their controls feel super fluid and responsive. Jumping, attacking, wall running, you feel in control all the time. The game gives you tons of options to tackle certain challenges. From gliding over a bottomless pit, using your hook or your enemies as a platform to get across. Where there's a will, there's a way. And there are tons of creative options too. And with the simple upgrade system that allows you to improve your mobility options, the game encourages the player to try out new playstyles. And those looking for an additional challenge try to collect all the coins in the hidden challenge rooms. The Messenger really has some tricks up its sleeve. Not only does it break the fourth wall constantly for some good jokes, it also manages to invert your expectation when it comes to gameplay. Halfway through the game, you are able to jump between timelines and change the gameplay from 8 to 16-bit by using these portals. And to top things off, it even changes the structure of the game from linear level design to open world Metroidvania. It really manages to keep things fresh from start to finish. Another fact that I have to drive home is the amazing soundtrack. This is possibly the best soundtrack of the year. You got all these different pieces of music, excellent tracks, and if you jump ahead in time and change the graphic style from 8 to 16-bit, the soundtrack gets remixed too. How cool is that? Everything is so well thought out in this game. Diving into water, the soundtrack gets this underwater tone. Small details like that really show the developers were passionate about this game. And all these gameplay elements go seamlessly together, because this game is polished as hell. No challenge feels unfair, and there is always different options to approach the difficulties the game throws at you. It feels like Sabotage Studios has thrown all the parts that made the original Ninja Gaiden game so great into the blender, added next-gen gameplay, amazing humor, love and passion, and said, here we go! So it is an honor to give The Messenger the title Indie Game of the Year. But now to the important question. If this is the 2D Ninja Gaiden 4 we've all been waited for, what can we learn from it for a new 3D Ninja Gaiden game?
Why am I not surprised?
How the vaunted Dragon Ninja bloodline has withered, Joe Hayabusa.
I really love The Messenger. The surprise hit I didn't see coming. And these are the best ones. And easily the second place on my top 10 list for this year. But since we want to see a new 3D Ninja Gaiden game, let's talk about the things we could learn from this masterpiece. Because The Messenger did everything right and improved every aspect of the classic Ninja Gaiden games and went way beyond with new gameplay features. Since this is another universe, I didn't mind the humor at all, and it made the journey through space and time even more entertaining. So let's focus on the gameplay. A thing that I really enjoyed was the level structure. It encourages speedrunning and keeps the action going. The level design is amazing. The levels and gameplay mechanics are built to keep the flow of the game going. From the placement of objects to the soundtrack, everything is crafted to encourage an aggressive and fast-paced gameplay style. By slicing enemies and certain objects, the messenger can keep on moving forward without the need to stop. This would be a nice feature for a 3D Ninja Gaiden game too. Focus more on mobility and keeping the combo meter up, with features and upgrades that enable new movement options. This worked really well for the Dark Souls series too. While the classic Dark Souls games had their focus on blocking and using a shield to your advantage, Bloodborne subverted these expectations and focused its gameplay more on evading the enemy attacks and fast movement. Combine that with, let's say, the Tate feature from Shinobi, which if you kill 4 or more enemies with no more than a few seconds between each kill, to perform an exaggerated violent Tate attack that makes you more powerful with every attack. This mechanic ensures the emphasis on killing all the enemies in battle as quickly as possible. The ninja way of fighting. Some of you also wanted to see classic characters from the 2D Ninja Gaiden games return, which is always a great way to satisfy longtime fans and build a consistent game world. Since many of the younger gamers never experienced the story of the original games themselves, it would be a great opportunity to build on that. If you have played Red Dead Redemption 2 and see how the story is interconnected with the first game in this very satisfying way, that doesn't even require you to play its predecessor, but still lets iconic characters make an appearance, so anyone who played Red Dead Redemption 1 can make the connection and relate to those characters even more. It is reminding you of all the good times in the first part, and at the same time is giving you a new experience and lets you see the world from a different perspective. Details like that make it even more relatable. The idea here would be that Team Ninja takes some time and contemplates on what made the characters in the previous games so memorable. What are the defining features for Joe Hayabusa, Murasame, Ayane, How can you give them a proper motivation for a new story? What are their goals and dreams? Take a look outside the box. Take a look at other successful game franchises and see how they innovated their story. But don't copy and paste them like in Ninja Gaiden 3. Just take the basic concept and implement it in your own way into a new Ninja Gaiden game. What made the story of Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2 connect so well? What made the character of Kratos so interesting? For me, Ninja Gaiden is everything I love about video games. Fast-paced action, challenging gameplay, interesting world and story. Learn to love your own history and build upon it, Team Ninja. Because we do. We care about Ninja Gaiden, and we would love to see a new 3D Ninja Gaiden with the amount of polish, love and passion that the Messenger got. Because the one thing that held Yaiba back from being great, apart from the mediocre gameplay, was the non-existent story arc. Yaiba had no character progression at all. He stayed practically the same through the whole game. He didn't grow at all, just an unlikable angry dude. What I'm trying to say is give your characters a well-thought-out backstory and a character arc that shows how they grew through their adventures. This is what keeps games interesting even decades after their release. Gameplay and graphics can grow old, but well-told stories never die.
My network of ninja have uncovered the reason for the attack. The samurai who burned the village was Doku.
The Messenger is well worthy the title of 2D Ninja Gaiden 4. This game takes the classic formula, improves every aspect of the original games, plus it adds tons of new and innovative elements into the mix, and it does its own thing with it. It goes from classic Ninja Gaiden level progression to open world flawlessly, and tells a fun and entertaining story throughout. The difficulty is really challenging, and these freaking ghost ladies rock my last nerves. But it always gives you the means and abilities to overcome all these challenges. Team Ninja, take notes. This is how you improve upon the original games. If we ever see a 3D Ninja Gaiden game with such a high quality, with this amount of polish, you will bathe in money. All that's left to say is check out The Messenger if you're a fan of the classic Ninja Gaiden games. And now that we have a 2D Ninja Gaiden 4, developers step forward and take the challenge to develop a truly worthy successor for the 3D Ninja Gaiden games. But what do you think? Are you a fan of the original Ninja Gaiden games? Have you played The Messenger? And what is your favorite indie game of the year? Do you like pineapples on your pizza? And what do you think we can learn from The Messenger for a new 3D Ninja Gaiden game? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video and want to support my channel, click the like button, subscribe and follow me on Twitter. But most importantly, have a great day and get the kick out of gaming. You know what? Fun fact! It seems like Nintendo has forced in the underwater levels in the original Ninja Gaiden game. Don't we all love underwater levels? Thank you for that, Nintendo.